models that we discussed earlier, and that is called risk analysis. Right. So risk analysis is a specific feature that is available with spiral model. It is not there with any other model. Always remember this. This question is very frequently asked in your MCQs. Right. Spiral model has which spatial activity, or risk analysis is included in which model. So you have to always remember that spiral model includes risk analysis. Now here each cycle involves the same sequence of steps as the waterfall process model. So if we talk about the first cycle, starting from here to this particular circle here. So this cycle actually is nothing but a waterfall model. Right. But waterfall model for what? For one activity. Maybe say, for example, conceptualization of the product, requirement. So waterfall model is followed internally for each activity of software development lifecycle. So we may follow waterfall model for requirement. Then from here we may start designing, and then for designing we once again we follow the waterfall model up to this. Then after designing, for implementation we follow the waterfall model up to this. And from here we may follow the waterfall model once again for testing and so on. So each spiral is a software development activity, and that activity is carried out in waterfall model fashion. Right? So this is how the spiral model works. So it uses an iterative approach. Iterative means it allows repetition of work. It allows cyclic work, right? So it uses an iterative approach designed to address each phase in development by obtaining customer comments and change, risk analysis, and resolution. Let me go back and explain this. So what exactly is happening? You start from customer communication here, then you follow the requirement phase of waterfall model, then you design phase of waterfall model, then implementation phase of waterfall model, and then testing phase of waterfall model. And once again you come back here. So here once again customer communication takes place. Customer evaluates whatever the work you have done here. Now this particular cycle, the first cycle, may not be related to a software or the code. It may be just some designs, some charts that you have prepared pertaining to the requirements. Right. So the first cycle is for requirement. So for requirement, you carry out certain charting and other job, and then you give it to customer for evaluation. Customer may suggest changes into the requirements or the chart that you prepared, and then you change it, and then you start with design phase. So you start designing flowcharts, algorithms, and everything. Once again, following the waterfall model here. And here, when you come here, once again, you whatever the designs that you have prepared, you give it to customer for evaluation. Your algorithms, your flowcharts, your database structures, and everything. Right. And customer will evaluate it. Request for change, you need to carry out those changes here. And then once customer freezes that, you start working on to the implementation, source code, programming job. So you move on to this spiral in waterfall model fashion, and then you generate the source code. You deliver the source code to the customer. Customer once again evaluates it, customer tests it, and then you move for testing. So at every phase, once again the customer is involved. So there is a continuous customer involvement in this model also, right? So the spiral model typically has a spiral for each of the traditional development phase. So for say we have 5 traditional development phases: requirement, design, implementation, testing, and maintenance. So in spiral model, there will be one spiral for each phase. There will be a spiral for requirement phase. So in that spiral, we shall be carrying out requirement related activities in waterfall model fashion. Then we start with the second phase. So second spiral. Second phase is design phase. So in second spiral, we shall be carrying out design activity in waterfall model fashion. At the end of each spiral or each phase, we show it to the customer, whatever work we have done. So customer may give its comments and ask for changes. And then customer may give new requirements that are also incorporated. At the same time, risk analysis is also done at every spiral to see whether whatever the work you have done is reliable, stable or not. So at every spiral, besides customer communication, risk analysis is specifically done. Right. Risk in terms of so many things. Risk in terms of time, risk in terms of cost or budget, risk in terms of feasibility of implementation, and so many things. Right. And this is a specific activity that is available only with the spiral model. Risk analysis is not there with any other model. So that makes this model very special. Within a cycle, specific engineering, that is design or development, etc., can take place using any other models, most of the time waterfall model, as I said. Right. So design is carried out with you following the waterfall model. Now, instead of entire software, now every phase is been carried out with a particular model fashion or model approach. Right. This model is risk-centered development model, where each spiral includes major risk activities and its assessment. So this reduces the chances of project failure because risk is analyzed at every spiral. So you are aware of the chances of what can go wrong and how will you manage if something goes wrong. Right. So this reduces the chances of project failures. So there are 4 quadrants that you might have seen in that diagram for spiral model. So each quadrant has the significance, right? So first quadrant is determine objectives, alternatives, and constraints. So if I am into requirement phase, first job is to find out what is the objective of collecting the requirement, what are the alternatives, and what are the constraints or limitations. Because if I know that, then I'll be able to carry out my activity properly. Objectives can be what? Objectives can be we want to have additional functionality in the software, we want to improve the performance of the software, or any such kind of thing. Alternatives, whether we want to build the new software, we want to reuse something existing, or whether we want to buy that is something that is available from the market, or whether we want to give it to somebody else as a subcontract for development. Right. So we have to work onto all these aspects. Constraints, what are the constraints which can affect our development work? Cost is a constraint. We have to work within the cost. If we are going over budget, over cost, then customer will not be happy. We have to work on schedule. If we delay our project, then also customer will not be happy. Constraints will be there with interfaces. Customer may like certain kind of interface or screen, and customer may not like certain other kind of screen. So we have to work with that constraint. So spiral model focuses on identifying all these things: objectives, alternatives, and constraints. Second quadrant is about evaluating the alternatives and identify and resolve the risk. So first quadrant was always talking about determining objectives, alternatives, and constraints, identification of them. Second constraint quadrant is about evaluating them. Which alternatives are better? Which alternatives will be much helpful? Also, in second quadrant, risks are identified and resolved, right? So that project work do not get hampered, do not get disturbed, right? Third quadrant is about develop next level product. So once we have identified the objective, alternatives, evaluated the alternatives, now is the time to do the actual work and develop the product, right? So we may create a design, we may review the design, we may write the code, we may inspect the code, or we may test the product. So these are the activities that have been there in third quadrant in different spirals. Fourth is plan the next phase. So fourth quadrant is for customer evaluation and customer comments on the product that we have developed, and then to plan for the next phase, that is once again going into the first quadrant of the next spiral. Right. So this is all about spiral model. Once again, I'll take you back to the diagram so that I can explain you those quadrants well. So this is, you can say, first quadrant activities. This is second quadrant activities. Here you determine objectives, alternatives. Here you evaluate alternatives and identify risks and resolve them. Here actually you carry out the real development design activities, and then here you plan for the next phase of the next spiral. So that is this. So here you will be planning that, and then you will be starting it from here. Once again, determine objectives and alternatives, evaluate alternatives, carry out actual development, and then plan for the next phase, and so on. So this is how the activities are defined for each quadrant of the spiral. Let us see its strengths and weaknesses. So since here specific focus is given on to risk analysis at every spiral, so this model provides early indication of insurmountable risk without much cost. So you get an idea about various risk factors at very early stage in the project, right? So you can determine whether to continue or not to continue, or whether to continue with the same approach or whether to do something else, right? That you can come to know very early in the software project development life cycle, because risk analysis is a special feature of spiral model. User also see the system early because of rapid prototyping tools. Here are rapid prototyping tools in that third quadrant. So the actual development is actually done very fast. So user gets to see the product early, right? Critically high functions are developed first, so you can concentrate more onto it rather than less critical, less important functions or features or requirement. So that is the strength of spiral model. Here, design does not have to be perfect. The reason is that you can get it evaluated by the customer in fourth quadrant, and you can change it if customer wants the change. So that is something relaxation that you get. User is continuously involved with the software development life cycle, so that makes user always available to you as and when you want to clear your doubts or you want to get user or customer feedback onto whatever the work you have done. So that will speed up your work. Weaknesses of this model are very less. Still there are there. Lot of time is being spent on risk analysis in this model. Now there may be projects which are not having much risk. There may be some simple projects, small projects, which do not involve a lot of risk. But still, if you are following the spiral model, you are spending lots of time in risk analysis for such non-risky projects also. So that will be a kind of weakness. So this model should be followed only when the software project has high risk. Low risk projects, we shall not follow the spiral model. So your time is wasted, even your money gets wasted if you do the over excessive job in risk analysis and resetting objectives and other things. The model is a little bit complex as compared to what we have seen earlier. The simplest of the model is waterfall model, then comes V-shape model, then comes prototype model, but then incremental model is little more complex, and spiral model is rather one of the most complex out of all this. So for new unexperienced staff, it is difficult to follow this model. Right? You need to have experience in order to work in the way the spiral model works, right? Because it is a little bit complex. For risk assessment, also the expertise is required. So you require special expert people for carrying out this job, which were not there with waterfall model or any other model that we discussed earlier. So that will also have an extra cost onto your organization because you require risk assessment experts. So there are so many such kind of weaknesses with spiral model. But all in all, this model is useful, very much useful in large projects. Right? For smaller projects, we may have a spiral model or prototype model, but for large projects, we generally follow either incremental model or spiral model. So that is what is said here when to use spiral model. One, when the cost and risk evaluation is important in order to decide whether to continue this software development project work or not. So risk analysis is a specific activity in spiral model that will help us determine that. So in such cases, spiral model will be useful for highly risky projects. Right. When the creation of prototype while following the prototype model is appropriate, it is not the kind of prototype that we throw away. It is useful prototype. Then we may follow the spiral model. So if we are working with prototype model and the prototype that we develop is useful, then not to throw away, then we further continue with the spiral model. It is also very useful with medium to high risk projects, as I already said. Right. The long-term project commitment unwise because of potential changes to economic priorities. In those cases, once again, spiral model is useful. So these are the scenarios where spiral model is very much useful. Right. So I hope we discussed this in sufficient detail and you were able to understand it. Let me switch over to the chat window to see if you have any doubts and queries. So please quickly write your doubts or queries into the chat window so that I can answer. Okay, fine. No queries, no doubts so far. Fine. Okay. Okay, fine then. Then, yeah, Vatsal has a question. Can the spiral model is used for risk solving? Spiral model is actually we use this process model for software development, but whenever the software project is a risky project where we don't know whether we will be successful or we will get failed into software development. So when there is such kind of risk involved, then spiral model is useful, right? So you should. The question is like, is it used for risk solving? It is not used for risk solving. The spiral model is used for software development, and in case where the software development is having some risk, then this model is useful because at every phase risk is identified and analyzed and risk is resolved during the software development work. Yes, Vatsal? Okay. Yeah, thank you. Any other doubt with anybody else? Fine. So I think now there is no more doubt coming up. So we conclude this session now. That's all for today. Tomorrow also I may arrange some extra lecture. Right. So I'll put the link into the Google Classroom so that you come to know about that extra session well in advance. So be prepared for that. See you tomorrow. You can leave your class now.